Is this who I think it is? Ponda Baba. I present to you your next Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Well, this is interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We had something the other day that got people really excited, seeing some unreleased characters and units in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And the thought of Chancellor Palpatine showing up in Galaxy of Heroes, the hype just got dialed up quite a bit. Basically, today what we're gonna do is I decided, besides just these characters you may have seen the other day, I looked for some other unreleased things that have been in the data mines for a long time and just haven't seen the light of day. We got 32 items we're gonna break down, and what better way to talk about it than a tier list and talking about which ones we want to come sooner rather than later. I have no idea if any of you guys care for a tier list like this. I think it's just fun. I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to join along and maybe rank which ones you guys want to see. These data mines are kind of the oddballs. Most of the time when we see a data mine, it's more likely coming than not. However, we do have situations like this, especially going way back in 2016, where there were data mines for certain things, but they just never came to fruition, either as an NPC or as a playable unit. Now, this is going to be slightly different than data mines where we see characters that aren't playable, but they end up being fightable. Like, for example, we've seen Crosshair already in Rise of the Empire and Conquest. So we're not going to include things like that as well as pikes and stuff like that because we already fight them. We see them in action. We just don't get our hands on them. This is going to be things that aren't just released in general as a playable or an NPC unit that you fight. And we got some interesting ones on the list. Also, fun thing to note, I can almost guarantee you any character or ship you're thinking of, CG already has the model made at the minimum. Generally with games like this, they hire an artist that just makes the 3D or 2D assets of all these different units. So if they do decide, hey, we're gonna do something, I don't know, for Chancellor Palpatine, they already have the assets made, and all they gotta do is maybe tweak some of the polygons and put some meat on the bones they've already made. So I just want to put it out there that they have a bigger inventory of unreleased characters more than this. These just happen to be just hidden inside the game files, never to be used. So I'm just gonna cut the line. I want to put Chancellor Palpatine over as an S tier must-have inside a Galaxy of Heroes. And I think this is gonna be more likely to happen sooner rather than later. We've talked so long about releasing a Palpatine that is kind of dipping his fingers in both cookie jars, putting his hand inside the Galactic Republic and putting his hand inside a Separatist, maybe having some Sith stuff baked in there. I think it's brilliant, and we're already kind of seeing kits that are like it. Look at Captain Rex, for example. Captain Rex, when it's 5v5, he helps out the Phoenix. When it's 3v3, he helps out the clones. They could easily do something like that where he can be used in light, dark side, territory battles. Maybe in 5v5, he helps out Galactic Republic. 3v3 helps out Separatists. Just want to put it out there that I don't think it's too crazy to be cross factions and only turn on specific parts of it depending on what game mode you go in. Would love to see this guy. I think this guy has to be a legendary of some sort. The guy that orchestrated the Clone Wars and also the demise of both the Galactic Republic and the Separatists. Kind of a big deal, I think. Okay, so let's start going in order now that we got the big name item out of the way. There were some ships. I actually omitted one in that old post that I was going to add. Back then, there was TIE Interceptor inside of data mines but never used, but hey, we actually got the TIE Interceptor eventually. So that's one of the situations where something became from the depths of data mines to an actual release of a playable unit. But here's some interesting ones. This goes back to 2016. Aayla Secura's Delta 7B. So I just want to put this out there. I think just seeing all these Galactic Republic ships gives us possibilities that we might be able to add more Galactic Republic things down to our formation. I saw some people asking for a General Skywalker captain, which isn't that far-fetched. Kenobi's got Jedi Anakin. Seeing a General Skywalker captain, I think would be pretty cool. But we're going to need more ships to add to the game. So I don't think I'm as hyped for an Aayla Secura like an S tier, but I would say an Aayla Secura, and this is a great way of getting people to gear up low gear characters. I'm kind of torn on this one. You know, just because I want to see a Galactic Republic captain like General Skywalker, I'm going to put it in A tier. This one's also interesting. We have another Delta 7B, but they're calling this the Anakin's Delta 7B. Now remember, this is 2016, so kind of in the early days of Galaxy of Heroes. I'd have to go back and check when Jedi Knight Anakin Starfighter came out. Maybe they had potential plans of making this the ship that Anakin flew, but instead they went for the Rise of the Empire, Revenge of the Sith appearance that he had at the yellow ship. So I don't think right now we really have another room for an Anakin unless they want to do General Skywalker in a ship. And I'll be honest, my Star Wars nerdism is kind of falling short. I don't remember what appearance Anakin made in that ship. Was that Clone Wars? I don't think it was episode 2, definitely not episode 1. So I'm a little kind of perplexed on what they had planned here. So I'm just going to put this in D tier just because I have no idea how it's going to be added in the game. So we got a lot of rebel stuff in these data mines. Here we have Carlos Rican, probably butchering his name. Some of these characters are going to be, I'm not going to say like 100% unknown. Like this guy, you know, he's not like a 10 out of 10 known, but he's not like a 0 out of 10 known. He's probably somewhere sub 5 out of 10, I think. He was from Alderaan. He was a military officer who served as a general in the Alliance to restore the Republic and military leader of the rebellion's base on Hoth. And he also served through Endor. So you know what? We were expecting there might be another 1 or 2 requirements to Leia that we haven't been told. Maybe they pull something like this. That was at Hoth. It was at Endor. Very good chance they could add him as a playable character. Rebels, man, they're such a flexible faction. I'm gonna put mainly just because he's not like super well known. I probably want some other rebels before him. I'll put it in B tier. Now this is pretty cool. I'll be honest, I didn't even know this was in the data mines. Darkside Barriss. So obviously Clone Wars appearance, of course, when she was being a little sneaky, if you know what I mean. Using Asajj Venture's lightsabers, framing her, all that fun stuff. I'm slightly surprised we haven't gotten her yet. It's been kind of, especially in the early days of Galaxy, this is like on the top list of, oh, we need to have Darkside Barriss. We need Darkside Barriss. They never did it. But she's there. She's just waiting to be utilized. I would definitely like to see a Darkside Barriss. I just don't know what she would be. I guess unaligned Force user is the best guess I could possibly have for her. She's not quite Separatist. She's not Sith. She's just a ticked off ex-Jedi. So I'd say probably a Darkside unaligned Force user. Probably an easy way to do it. And it's a very valuable tag nowadays. This is really cool. If you guys remember, the other day, CG put out a survey asking, hey, what new things do you want to come to Galaxy? I wanted to see Admiral Trench, the capital ship leader. I think it makes sense. I have a pretty good suspicion it's going to happen, but we need more Separatist ships to make that happen. Here we have in the data mines going back to 2016 a Droch, I'm not sure if it's Droch or Droch-class boarding ship. I know we saw a lot of this in the Clone Wars, like for example, speaking of Asajj that we talked about a moment ago, this would penetrate a ship or some sort of building and it would like kind of open it up with its claws, and then as you can see there's a little hole down there so someone can come out of. I didn't know this, they're named juicers. We've been seeing a lot of fun situations, especially of Leviathan, despite some of its flaws, kind of playing around with the enemy capital ship. Imagine if you could just send these and latch them on the opposing capital ship. Pretty cool if you think about it. Maybe have commando droids come out of it. You see where I'm getting at here? You know what? I might be a little biased. I think I'm more excited about this than an Ayla. I'm going to put this in S tier. I would love to see more Separatist ships. So this next one, if you saw that Reddit post the other day, this was not included in there. We have Evan Piel, or is it Evan? I think it's Evan Piel is how you pronounce it. Had an appearance inside the Clone Wars TV show. I mean, look, with a description like that, why isn't he in Galaxy of Heroes? Listen, there's not much to say. I am always down for new Jedi in the game, especially in the prequels, Clone Wars. You don't really have to convince me we need more Jedi, especially if Jedi Cal Kestis is getting a lot of work and all these other fun things going on. I think this is something A tier that I want to have. First Order Snow Troopers next on the list. Oh man, ever since like the sequel started happening, there was always the things that we really want, like BB-9E or even like the Flame Trooper. We never ended up getting it, which kind of sucks. But this shows that there's some things hidden in the files that are just waiting to see the light of day. I'm not sure if we need more for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. He maybe could use like a mini lifter or something like a Snoke potentially. But First Order Snow Trooper, I mean the Phasma Omicron, the TIE Pod Omicron, there's always room to throw someone like that in there. I'm gonna put this into A tier. Anything with Trooper related, I want to see happen. Next up, we have the Genovix-class Starfighter with the description of deflection shields and small silhouette. Make this a difficult ship to take down. Now, this is kind of an odd one. If I recall correctly, this was only seen inside of the anime, like the old school animated Clone Wars TV show, and it was piloted by Asajj. I mean, I'm surprised Asajj has not gotten a ship of some sort. Here's a possible option on the table. Oh, looking at the appearances, apparently it also made an appearance in the canon Clone Wars that happened. Yeah, Wreckage appears on Flashback. Okay, so it's made some other appearances. I just remember it from the 2005 or whatever animated Clone Wars TV series, which was a lot of fun, man. That's the Grievous I wish we had. Oh man, it easily could be a Separatist ship. If we need something for Admiral Trench, I would love to see it. Man, just give it to me. Let's do it. Asajj, S tier. We gotta start spreading some of these around. I gotta be a little bit more critical. We got another ship here. Kind of an interesting one too. This is the HH-87 Starhopper, and I actually had to look this one up. This was actually specifically known as a Hutt fighter due to its service in the Hutt clan. Now, the thing that kind of blows my mind is seeing that this is in the data mines going back to 2016. I'm assuming Hut Cartel maybe wasn't on the mind that early on in the game. We didn't get Hut Cartel to just last year in 2022. Trying to think how that would fit in the current landscape of the game. I mean, I guess maybe they could make it a bounty hunting ship and throw it with the Executor. I'm not excited about this compared to the droid or Asajj ship. I don't even know who would pilot it technically. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to put this as a C tier just because I don't know how it would fit in the current landscape of the game. We're going to see a couple of mercenaries on this list. We have one for Separatist, Republic. I think it's a little too bland and basic of a character to release when there's so many like bigger name brand or even non-name brand things. Like I'd rather have a scout ship before I have one of these guys. I know, colored me surprised. And you know, I'm just not as excited about this. I mean, yeah, there's a lot more I'd want with tags on like TIE Fighter pilots is more useful. The Scout Troopers, so many other troopers I want. I'm going to put that in a D tier category. Of course, they could make use out of it, but I feel like in 2023 and beyond, it doesn't really get my jollies going. If one 3PO wasn't enough, how about two 3POs? We have K3PO that's in the data mine files for a while too. K3PO, kind of a minor appearance, served as a captain in the Alliance to restore the Republic during the Galactic Civil War. He was stationed at Echo Base on the planet Hoth, where he was in charge of organizing the base's droid pool. He was destroyed due to falling debris with the Rebel Command Center sustained enemy fire during the battle. So pretty minor appearance. I don't know what the likelihood of this ever seeing the light of day. It's a Rebel, it's a droid. I'll have a little bit of bias. I'll put it at C tier. I'd rather have this guy before K3PO, but hey, more droids is always fun, I think too. I'm trying to like spread it out a bit more. I want everything to come to the game, so I'm trying to be a little bit more fair with my rankings. We got a couple of random Night Sisters in here that had minor appearances in the Clone Wars. We have Karis here. I'll be honest, I don't know much about her. I think the most prominent thing about her, she was a part of the trio that attempted an assassination on Count Dooku, so that was kind of interesting. Maybe seeing like an Asajj Ventress 3v3 team. Who knows? That'd be kind of cool. I like the idea of a 3v3 team. Night Sisters are in a fantastic spot right now. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna just be mean. Put her in C tier. So another one that you probably did not see the other day, Latz Razi. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about this character. Like, truthfully, I really forgot about this character. Clone Wars appearance. She was part of a team known as the Crate's Claw, and the whole goal here is that she needed 6 hunters to do a mission, and this is where I believe, yeah, so here's the crew we have. So that's our Clone Wars Dengar right there. Man, would I love to see that droid come in. You see Bosk, you see Embo, and Ventress as well. She was a part of their team for a little bit too, so kind of interesting. We still have to talk about Asajj Ventress too. Hey, you know, it would be interesting, although Embo's doing fine right now. He doesn't need to join her gang. I'll put it in C tier. We got more First Order love. We have Lieutenant Simon Cowell. Okay, take out the Simon part. We're talking a very, very minor appearance here inside of Rise of Skywalker. Hey, and it also made an appearance in the Skywalker saga. There you go. There's the description. It was a male human who served as Lieutenant of First Order and served in the Kijimi Garrison. Well, just evaluating the game, I think always having new First Order characters would be pretty sweet. I think I'd rather the First Order Snow Trooper first. I need some more B tier characters. Let's put that in B tier. That is a very weird one to add, but it just goes to show you they'll basically make art assets for even some of the most obscure characters in Star Wars. So I can again assure you that any character you have in mind, I'd say 99% chance they already have the assets made at the minimum. We got 2 Night Sisters on here. We have Naleth and Luce. I'm not sure if it's Luce or Lucy. I believe Naleth was also the other one alongside Ventress and Karis that went for the assassination on the Dooku. Luce, let's look it up. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. She's the one that died in Ventress's hands, I believe. Okay, I remember now. Again, kind of minor appearances. Oh man, it's kind of weird to say. I don't know if we really need more Night Sisters right now, unless they just want to create a whole brand new Night Sister faction. There are at least a few Night Sisters being kicked to the curb because of Marin. I don't know. Am I being too harsh putting it in C tier? I feel like if we didn't have Marin, I'd like a lot more Night Sister love, but just they're not big name characters. I think the Night Sisters are in a great place. I think that's kind of my reasoning there. But what I really want to see is a Naboo Starfighter. For some reason, it's the one ship that's going the opposite direction. It's also featured on some of the currency, the fleet or ship currency in the game, or ship materials. I'm just gonna throw this in S tier right away. I want to see this happen. I've been speculating maybe like a Naboo faction with Padme leading and maybe a Jar Jar, and you could use R2D2 in there. Maybe they'll add baby Anakin, pod racer Anakin, for you to pilot the ship. Ultimate ability just flies in the enemy capture, blows it up. I think easily an S tier. I mean, at the minimum, it could be a Galactic Republic ship, I suppose. So there's always room for more Galactic Republic stuff. So this is interesting. I definitely think Capital Games could have easily separated the Asajas a little bit more. Here's the Asajj Ventress Night Sister Edition. The Asajj we have is definitely more Night Sister than Separatist. I really think they should have, they could have easily milked Asajj for a few more characters. They could have made the Asajj we currently have more for the Separatists. I would have loved to see her lean more into her Separatist synergy. She's really only a Separatist by tag, not by kit. Then they could have had a Night Sister designed Asajj, or basically just take the current Asajj kit, throw it on her. And recently we had a little bit of hype. We saw not too long ago, a couple conquests ago, we had a bounty hunter Asajj that made an appearance inside a conquest that we had to fight. It was basically, I believe, the same Asajj kit, but with a different skin. So I just want to put it out there. This was a character that maybe even Siege was like, crap, we could have milked this character a bit more easily. They could have made 3 variants. The problem is, okay, so if they go with Maya Dan, let's say, hey guys, we're reworking the current Asajj to be for Separatists, and then we're giving a new Asajj with the current Asajj kit. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I'm definitely interested in at least a bounty hunter Asajj, even though that's not the model. I'll put it in A tier. I think I would have liked to have Asajj that kind of highlighted her alignments and powers throughout her lifespan. Is this who I think it is? Honda Baba. I present to you your next Star Wars Galaxy heroes. Wait! I didn't know the guy today. I thought he looked familiar. This is the guy that Kenobi cut his arm off in A New Hope with a lightsaber. No discussion. S tier, it needs to be top priority. All right, I'm just going to knock out these mercenaries. We have a couple of them here. We have a Galactic Republic mercenary. Again, I don't think it's very interesting. I think there's a lot of other Galactic Republic characters I'd like to see. We got kind of a generic rebel mercenary spy. I'll put that down there. We got a Separatist mercenary, although I am a bit more biased. I feel like Separatists could use a little bit more love. I'm just going to put it there. Just to be fair, I'm not too interested in these bland no-name characters. If someone's going to spend $330 plus or months of farming, that's not really the most interesting thing, right? We have a plenty of name brand characters that we could have. But nonetheless, they're sitting in the files waiting for some life. So this is really interesting. 2016, there were already Pike ships in the game. We have a Sarisa class gunship that we're about to put on our little ranking table. This is a 2016 data mine. They're called Pike patrol ships. Very brief, description. Nothing too fancy about them. But the fact that they were thinking of Pikes, even in 2016, is very interesting and just shows you that I think there's a bigger future for Pikes down the road. We saw them in the data mines a few months ago, then they were added to Rise of the Empire. So we do see Pikes did come to fruition. Sure, we kind of knew about it even before the data mines and the release happened. It was kind of in some of the leaks and rumors going on. I'm wondering when they're going to pull the trigger and maybe do a Pike faction of some sort. But just right now, I don't know how we'd utilize this ship. So I'm going to be fair. I'm going to throw this in the D tier category. I don't know how we utilize it. We don't really have a scoundrel unless it becomes a bounty hunter. We don't really have a scoundrel oriented fleet unless it just becomes this amazing plug and play thing. We have Sassy 10. I don't think that's how you say it, but I just wanted to say it that way. I only remember this guy because he was one of the 4 folks that wanted to try to take down Sidious, and well, he didn't last long. But Galactic Republic Jedi, kind of a name brandish thing. I'll put B tier. I'll put a B tier type of character release I want to see. We have Shahan Alama. I had to double check this one. Minor appearance, helped out Cad Bane in the Senate hostage crisis, so he can get Zero the Hutt. I actually don't know if there was anything much more of the story. I think that may have been it. He helped out Cad Bane, Aura Singh, and that was kind of it. But heck, I mean, right now we are seeing a little bit of love for Cad Bane inside a Crate Dragon raid. I wouldn't mind seeing Cad Bane get a rework, a Zeta, maybe some supporting characters. I don't know if I want to give him Aura Singh for Cad Bane. I'm always down for new bounty hunters. I had to look this one up because it looked deadly close to a Razor Crest almost, from at least the icon down there. The SS-54 assault ship, primarily a bounty hunter mercenary type of ship. I mean, we do have a lot of bounty hunters they could just slap it on. I've been wanting at least the punishing one from Dengar to show up, so I don't know. It's a bounty hunter ship. I bet people would love to see their executors get a little bit better. Give me an interesting character to throw in it, and I'll be sold. I'm assuming if you give me a good, interesting character that's bounty hunter, 4 executor, and something a lot of people have, I'll put it A tier. Sugi, another one. Another bounty hunter I had to look up. A little bit foggy, but her whole was we encountered in the Clone Wars when she befriended Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Ahsoka Tano, protecting the farming village of Felucia from Hondo Onaka. I believe, yeah, she had Embo alongside her. Embo, man, he's just a simple man making his way through the galaxy. Listen, again, I'm down for bounty hunters. I don't think this is on like a high priority bounty hunter list, but it just goes to show it's a decent, you know, C tier option for bounty hunter, I'd say. You know, I'll just be fair. I'll put her in that B tier. I'm always down for bounty hunters. I'm not sure how excited people would get nowadays for it. I had to double check this. We have a Data Class 2C shuttle used by the Galactic Republic and then later the Galactic Empire. This, yeah, I think I can see why I got a little perplexed. This was used to rescue Darth Vader on Mustafar after the duel with Kenobi. I first thought when I looked at the image, like, oh, is that the Marauder? You can see there are some similarities there, but it's not. The Marauder was a modified Omicron class attack shuttle. I was gonna say, wow, wouldn't that be crazy? In 2016 they already had the Bad Batch ship and the data mines. I will say this, I mean, I'm sure they can always add an Empire Galactic Republic thing here. I would love to see the Marauder make an appearance. I'm surprised it hasn't yet, especially if season 2 that happened. If with the season 3, I would be surprised if we don't get the ship. I think this ship is very likely to happen, just a question of when, I suppose. I would have easily given this S tier if this was like the Bad Batch ship. It's Galactic Republic, Empire. I'll put it A tier. Check this out. Tian Madan, the guy that whispers into Kenobi's ear on Utapau and Revenge of the Sith. This is a very random one to throw in here. I just have no idea how it would fit inside the current landscape of Galaxy of Heroes. Would he, like, I don't know what's his alignment. Would he separatist? I think it's cool to just see him in general. Again, shows that even the most obscure minor characters are getting artwork done by CG. Will this see the light? They probably not. I kind of feel dirty unless they add like a species or something like that, or maybe have some synergy of Grand Inquisitor because they're the same species. I have to put a D tier. I just don't know how it's going to fit in the game. Now, I have this in the list. It actually, I believe, at least makes an appearance as an NPC. I believe you fight these inside the territory battles quite frequently. This V-19 Torrent Starfighter. So I probably shouldn't be here, but I'm going to rank it anyways. Galactic Republic ship. I'm always down for it. Let's give it A tier. We got a Z-95 Headhunter. This is kind of a variant of, it's kind of the base model for a lot of different variants we saw in the Clone Wars. I believe this was also kind of used with the Resistance. Like Poe flies something like this, right? Yeah, here we go. Poe Dameron acquired one of these for a covert mission. Yeah, so it's kind of made its rounds. This is kind of a flexible, generic ship that they could use for a lot of stuff. Just because I don't think it's as exciting, it's kind of, it's a bit too ordinary. It needs to have like it needs to be sold on where it would work. I'm gonna put it down in C tier. Now you might think we're done, but there's one more interesting thing. I can't quite interpret this. In the data mines, we see Callus. Yeah, this Callus right here. But in the data mine files, he's tagged as a dark side unit, so it probably wouldn't be when he flips over here, turncoats over to the rebels. But there's no 3D art asset made, at least in the data mines back then. Maybe it's made at CG, it's just not inside the game hidden. I would easily want Callus to be S tier, as in something I want to see. If it's the dark side that the data mine is showing, it's got to be Empire related. It's a character that people have been asking for a good amount. I'm not gonna say it's like super request, but it's definitely been requested to a good degree. Kind of one of the big characters from the Rebels TV show, so it's not like it's a no-name character. This is easily an S tier thing I would like to see added. Oh, could always use some good old Empire units to bolster some of those good factions out there, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap it up for today right there. Again, if you want to play along, feel free to do so. I think it's just interesting though how we have so many characters that are just waiting. They're in the game files. They're just waiting for some life to be breathed into them. Let me know, out of these characters that we at least know they have 3D models for, which one do you want to see? I know it's gonna be Chancellor Palpatine most likely, but it just goes to show CG, they have all the characters you want. They're just trying to find the right time, the right place, and the right balance of money, or maybe a lot of money, to finally release them in Galaxies. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing, and always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.